Hello and welcome to the corner. I'm the Frost Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages. Not Jack Gunsky.
I refuse to get along with anyone.
Attaboy.
I assume you stamped your feet.
Yes.
Moonshock.
Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. It's got the minerals in it. It's got the Fauci sauce in it. Don't drink the water.
Alright. Moon became a New York Jew. Pterodimets.
The real reason you don't drink water is because fish fuck in it.
Oh, yes.
That's true. You don't want fish cum in your water.
No one does. Well, no one should.
And this week's special guest, Kyiverdam.
Happy new, hopefully not rough year.
Well, it's off to a good start.
Well, if it's rough, does that mean it's got a sandy vagina?
Yeah,
Sure.
I got it.
What's the grit on that pussy? What's the grit? I'm funny, damn it.
Is Moonshock drinking?
If only. You guys know I can't have alcohol.
I will say this, Moon, you're about as funny as Tyr.
Oh, don't compare him to me. How dare you?
Alright. Well, anyway, for our first article, first we're going to take a little step back and where last we left our good friends Arna Joshi.
Oh, yes.
Boy.
She informed us that it was not and never has been for just anyone, because a spiritual practice in the hands of unscrupulous people can be abused and violated. This is clear in the capitalist profiting of yoga studios, yoga pants, yoga blocks, and yoga literally anything. Any profiting or exploiting of yoga for material gain is the direct opposite of what yoga is for. And so now for our first article, why I will now charge for my classes.
Zarna Joshi?
Joshi.
Whatever.
Remember her, Moon?
Yeah, this
Isn't
is the
yoga like just stretching and shit?
Will the prices be humongous?
Oh,
Yeah.
is this that freaking
Yeah,
of shit
humongous
Yeah.
what?
you
Humongous
can't,
what?
Humongous what?
Oh, God.
You just abused a woman.
Is that sexual harassment?
Oh,
My favorite thing about that clip is how you can see her in real time gradually ramping up her accusation to sexual assault.
Yeah.
Oi, Sevy butt. Oh, she's one of them. Okay.
Indigenous Hindu.
She's a
You
dot,
just
not a
You
feather.
just say darky.
She's a dot, not a feather.
I've always provided my classes and courses to the public for free. As an anti-capitalist indigenous Hindu woman with ancestors who never charged for teachings, it felt wrong to put a price on my work. I've had to work...
I found a picture of her doing a whole yoga thing, and it says "Namaste." Let's get this. Severus, what the crap are you doing?
I've had to work on my feelings for many reasons. The first was that I realized that they were incompatible with reality. My ancestors
That was actually true. That she's realigned.
There you
with
go.
reality.
Her namaste picture is in chat, so enjoy, everybody.
Is that even her?
Yeah, are you
Yes,
sure that's her?
that
It's
is her.
just not just a random Indian woman.
That is her.
Kinda
I
different.
looked it up.
Mhm.
She has that same red dot sight right between her eyes in every picture.
That I'm almost certain that's not her.
No, that's one of the women that Genie made for Aladdin in the cartoon.
No, that just means someone's pointing a gun at her ass, and there's got a red dot sight.
It's
Yes, she's in a well.
the first was
Lotion.
my ancestors. My ancestors never charged for teaching, but that's because through most of history, those around them compensated them for their labor without asking, understanding the value of their work and honoring their wisdom.
You said
So-
you're anti-capitalist? Well, when you charge people, isn't that capitalism?
Oh, she'll
al-
explain why in this exact situation it's not hypocritical.
and also,
Hi,
even if
James.
it's voluntary, you're still getting paid for your work. It's- um, as I went deeper into my studies on imperialism, I also realized that leftist narratives about capitalism being the root of all evil were faulty. Capitalism is a symptom of imperialism, not the root of it. Capitalism must be dismantled, but so must all other imperialist systems of power, of which capitalism is just one.
No, I'll make her a deal. If capitalism is so bad, she can just give me all her belongings. I will graciously accept them.
Yeah, her ancestors would not approve of her owning a computer or phone or anything.
No. Son, is Moon making you put the lotion on the skin, or else you get the hose again?
Yeah.
I don't know. You ask her.
She's got one of the dogs down there.
What? No, that's nasty.
Want to know what the other
Precious.
Yeah. Want to know what the other imperialist systems of power are? Then do my courses and you'll learn. I no longer offer this information for free.
I don't
Buy
want
my
you.
book.
What a capitalist bitch she is. Yet she says capitalism must be dismantled. Yet that's exactly the kind of shit she's trying to pull with that little.
If you want me to tell you your shit, you'll have to pay me first.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
The
what I say
truth-
to her is, "How dare you, you disgusting person!"
And I hate to say it, but I agree with Tyr on this one. Moonshock, the real Zana looks like a man. The picture you put up looks like a woman. Now, I disagree with the last bit. I don't think
Fine.
she's very fuckable.
Fine, fine,
That is not Zana.
Fine.
There's
That's
no
what I
way
figured.
Zana.
She looked different.
fine. I'm gonna find this bitch and I will put up a real fucking
already did.
picture.
I already did for you.
No. Your pictures don't count. I will put up the picture that she has on her freaking Medium page, and then you guys can see how close I am to.
I think
the
India
mark.
has a population of like over 1 billion, so we're gonna see a lot of photos.
I don't know. I think the picture you posted is modestly fuckable.
What the fuck? That's not you, you dumb.
Oh, son of a...
I don't think she's that attractive, but I mean,
she's not super attractive or anything, but she's top half.
No,
If she-
I don't know.
the
If she
one I
wiped off her
like
if she wiped off her forehead and put on normal clothes.
If she wiped some of the black off her face and was white underneath.
pretty girl, stop, please. No, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that was her. Fine.
Okay,
Dude,
that is
I've
dumb.
I've seen Zarna Joshi, and
No.
that was not Zarna Joshi.
There you go.
the-
That's her.
The picture Keith just posted is 100% Zana Joshi. That's what she actually looks like.
Yes.
Sorry, Moon.
What the fuck ever.
Whatever.
Celeste, stop whining. You're fine, honey.
Well, if you'd posted the right picture in the first place, none of this would have happened.
I did. You know what? Fine. I'm gonna go find. Hold on.
Hold on, I found it.
Wine.
Exactly.
No.
Speaking of wine, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hey, I recognize that person.
Yeah, see, it's Zarna.
Yeah.
The truth is that as year after year went by, and I saw how people reacted to my classes being free, I saw miles into the true nature of the social justice movement. This is what I saw. People don't sign up, assuming they can access my work for free whenever they want. So there's no incentive to bother about it right now.
Oh, lordy.
My precious
Here,
time.
Here. Oh, hold on a second.
What?
Oh, that is so fucking fake. Never mind.
My precious
Here is a good reason to justify paying for someone's services. Even if you want to give your services away for free, you should still have people pay for them on the basis that if they don't pay for it, they won't value it, and they are likely to abuse or not utilize it correctly.
Sure.
It's like she's this close to figuring out why we have capitalism, but not quite getting it.
But even beyond that, there's another reason. If you don't charge for it, then you can't sustain your operation and you have to stop doing it eventually.
No,
So-
that's not what I wanted to do.
If you're actually providing a valuable service, yeah.
The point is that there are occasions where you don't even necessarily need money, but you should still charge for your services.
Yeah, of course. The council housing is the perfect example of what Jack's talking about, where because they're given the house for free, they just treat it like a dump because what do they care? It's not theirs.
People sign up but don't show up. They think that somehow by signing up they did something radical, so they don't need to actually show up. The social media click warriors strike again. People who do show up are not on time, and then expect me to do extra labor repeating myself, not knowing how much labor I've already exerted and how much impact that has on my body.
The impact on your body of repeating yourself.
What exactly?
It's very grueling.
She repeated herself enough in that video. What is your name? What is your name?
What exactly is she doing with her students? Workers' rights. Workers' rights don't seem to matter to these people. People who say they are people who say they are anti-capitalists are lying.
Whoa! She says she's anti-capitalist, so she just admitted that she's lying.
Also, wouldn't they be capitalist if they did pay her?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like this whole ideology is dumb. They'd much rather float in their bubble of privilege, which buys conveniences. That means they would rather pay imperialist academic institutions thousands of dollars to study political science, and then call themselves anti-capitalists. People don't value things that are free, even though true wisdom is priceless. Wisdom is the most precious thing in the world, and it has to be experienced to be understood. Capitalists cannot understand the value of pricelessness.
What a retarded thing to say.
No, we had those commercials. For everything else, there's MasterCard. We know pricelessness.
Yeah.
You can't value something if you get it for free, therefore you shouldn't pay for anything.
Sound logic, yeah.
People who say they're anti-imperialist also say they have no time for my genuine anti-imperialist education. I gotta say, I would love to be in one of her classes. Somehow, however, they have time to go to an imperialist institution and spend thousands of dollars to get fake credentials. It's about titles, respectability politics, and hierarchies. In other words, they're imperialists.
And also James in chat says, if you rape a prostitute, is it considered shoplifting? It depends on the context. If you just mean not paying her after you hire her, then it's theft of services. If you just full on rape her, then it's still rape.
Yeah, consent.
Also, you can't exactly give it back after you're done.
True.
People treat me like a convenience, available whenever they want. I am not a puppet who dances to the tune of others. I am also not a slave.
But you're a drama queen.
And you're doing labor for free.
Hmm.
People who say they are anti-imperialists have no intention of actually taking anti-imperialist action. They'd rather rage impotently about war at the dinner table instead of gaining the analysis and practical tools they need to actually stop wars from happening.
Like screaming at people?
Oh, man. I never considered that Zarna Joshi had the power to stop wars. It took me time to accept these hard truths. People who do value me kept telling me to charge, and I resisted because I wanted to ensure that all have access to what I teach. If, however, no one takes my courses because people don't respect my time, labor, or wisdom, then that defeats the point.
I swear to you right here, right now, I do not value that at all.
Yeah. So I'm being creative about how I'm doing this from now on. Starting in 2025, there will be charges. There will be an application process. There will be people who are accepted into my courses and people who are denied. There will be people who get scholarships and people who can pay but are still refused entry.
Hope they get their money
She's
back.
giving scholarships to her bullshit yoga course.
And also, people who pay still aren't allowed in.
You know, when I think about yoga, the first thing I think about is the application process.
Well, to be fair, she's not saying that you pay and don't get to go. She's saying you can pay. So she's like, if you're poor but you meet my criteria, I'll give you a scholarship. Whereas even if you're the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, poster child for narcissism, etc., then I can still deny you a position in my prestigious yoga class.
Can I get a letter of recommendation so some Indian chick can yell at me? It will be tough to get access to my courses because I'm going to need proof that you're a genuine anti-imperialist. All right. I have not established any colonies in my lifetime. Is that good enough?
We just get a note from your mother. Frosted is a very good boy.
I am. I will do outreach to certain communities and demographics, but I will no longer do outreach to the social justice movement. If you want to learn from me, you'll need to come to me and justify your presence in my space. There's more to say about this, but I'll do so later. Get ready for 2025, because I'm not playing. Oh, shit. She's back and meaner than ever.
I would love to see the application to one of her yoga classes.
Yeah, you already did it, but I was just going to say, can you scroll up to the top of the article because Q Continuum is asking what the title was.
Let's see, I'm just going to Google Applied to Zarna Joshi class.
I told him.
Oh, you already mentioned it. Okay. I couldn't remember the exact wording, so I was just like...
Well, she does have zarnajoshi.com.
That is true. She does.
Question 1. Do you promise to subvert the capitalist patriarchy?
No. Question 1. Humongous what?
Question 2. Click all the pictures with a bicycle in them. Alright. Well, with the end of the first article comes the first game, and that is Sad Libs Double Prompt Edition, where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out 2 words, and you guys fill in those words Mad Lib style, then the chat votes on which is best. Alright, so Jack, I need a person.
I actually decided I want to sign up to Zana Joshi's class and just get her to say, Sir, please do not redeem.
Why, what's that mean?
That is, whenever that, those people that scam the scammers? Like the scammers, they go buy, $500 worth of gift cards. They'll then, redeem the gift cards over the phone. They're like, no, do not redeem.
Oh, and tier England has the best curry because they have Tim Curry.
Fair enough.
I was friends with a girl whose last name was Curry.
Alright, so Jack, I need a person.
Oh man, I don't know whether to go with Zarna Joshi or Hillary Clinton.
Wow, it's an embarrassment of riches.
I know. Let's go with Hillary Clinton.
Alright.
I mean, Zarna Joshi is just a run-of-the-mill loon. Hillary Clinton deserves to be constantly ridiculed.
Alright, Moon, I need a person.
George Soros, because fuck that guy.
Fair enough. No argument here.
Alright, and Terry, I need a type of person.
You already know it's Nigo.
Alright, Kyiv, I need a person.
I guess maybe... Oh, God. It's been a long time. So, how about... I guess Luigi Mangione?
Oh. No. Luigi Mangione. I don't know. It's Italian. That's close enough.
Yeah,
Close
that's
enough.
right. It's correct.
Oh,
Alright.
there you go.
Moon, I need a person.
How about that piece of shit we have for a president? They gave all these fucking Medal of Freedoms to a bunch of goddamn assholes. Joe Biden. Fuck that guy too.
So
Yeah.
pudding brain.
Terry, I need an adjective.
Retarded.
Alright. Kiev, I need a living thing.
How about slugs, I guess? Or slug.
Yeah. And Jack, I need a past tense transitive verb. Jack, you're muted.
Blue.
Oh.
As in
I was
not
go-
the color, but
No,
yeah, I was gonna say. It took me a sec. Alright. So let's see. Jack's is, I think it's fantastic to sleep with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Moon's, I said what I said. George Soros is a racist, classist, retarded killer.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, that one's just true.
Alright. And Terry's, 5 things a nigger was forbidden to do with a slug in ancient Rome. Alright. And let's see, Keeves. Luigi Mangione blew another black man to death.
I think I'm going to give it to Kiev. I think she gets my vote.
I don't know. I'd go with yours, Terry. So I'll start a pulse to check on which is best.
I was between mine and Keith's, but you know, it's kind of bad form to just vote for yourself. So,
Well, I should have picked someone more recent, so it's kind of my fault. So
Yeah,
maybe I should have
you
gone
just-
with Samsung did Jabbar.
all I
yeah,
can think
it's
is
getting a lot of votes.
all I can think is Arrested Development. I just blew myself.
Yes. And he means he painted himself blue. But,
Yes.
Tobias has a way of saying double entendres without intending to.
I've never actually
Tobias,
seen that
You
show.
blow hard.
Yes. And it's something that if I get a fatty, I'll just have to suck it up.
Hmm.
I forget the exact wording on that one. But yeah, there was a lot of them.
I mean, Luigi is in prison right now, so he could be blowing black men.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And it
Cues.
looks like Key is winning with 47%. Which is, well, look it up to 50, back down, and then back up.
And
I
also
chose
we,
Jack.
and also we only
Yeah.
have 10 likes.
Hmm.
So, unless you want us to let a nigger near your slug.
He'll do it. He's not bluffing.
Yeah. I have tier on call 24/7.
Speed dial, baby.
All right. I think I can end it there. So it looks like Keeve won, followed by
And
Terry.
it also looks like people were too busy throwing up to vote for Jack.
Too busy
I
with.
voted.
Oh,
People were too busy throwing up to vote for Jack.
I voted for Jack.
You're the 5%.
Okay.
No, literally, there's 20 votes, so one vote is 5%.
Gotcha.
all right. But on a brighter note, for our next article, one of the most dangerous activities you can do is becoming safer. That's right. Peeing in Scotland.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Not Ashley.
Oh, the first sentence just tells you all you need to know, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
I feel like I should have not Jack Gunsky read not Ashley.
Oh god.
How about nobody pees in public? Men
Their
or
profile picture is a cat.
So
I mean,
my
No.
Facebook
Hey.
profile pics a cat.
Hey, send me the
No.
article. I'll read that shit.
This
you might
person
not
wants
be
to-
able to. I think you might need a Medium account.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd have to archive it, which would take a couple minutes.
yeah.
Let's see. I can pee without fear in Scotland. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. In Scotland,
End of
a piece,
article. We've heard enough.
in Scotland, a piece of hate crime legislation will come into effect tomorrow. Coincidence? I think not.
A6.
A6.
Mhm.
The new law was crafted through nearly a decade of hard work, extensive consultations, and reviews on hate crime. It all began in 2015 with the establishment of an independent advisory group tasked with delving into the matter. In 2018, a retired senior judge finalized the independent review on hate crime legislation in Scotland. The Scottish Parliament passed the legislation in 2021. And
Can I just say it does sound like absolutely miserable work. Can you imagine having to sit in one of those committees and phrase around literally everything you say so as not to set someone off and go absolutely ape shit on your ass?
And worse than that, in Scotland. I mean,
yeah.
you.
To put things into perspective, the first same-sex wedding in Scotland took place on... they do the dates wrong. December 31st, 2014.
No.
It was a time...
31 December. It says it right there.
There's only one December, not 31. It was a time characterized by change and equal rights. Lord Bracketail... We're reading some fantasy novel? Lord Bracketail's recommendations in 2018 predated the waves of hate crime and the imported culture war against LGBTQI plus people. They forgot the A. And the two S.
They're very phobic.
I would just like to point out that Scotland's national animal is the unicorn, and subsequently, Scotland is on the cutting edge of recognizing fictional things to be real.
And apparently they have a Middle Eastern or Arabian guy who's pissed off that most of the people there are white in their
On
higher
the
ranking
plus side,
people.
you can buy a square foot of land in Scotland and become a lord. So that they've got that going for them.
Yeah, that's right. I just love how much that pisses off Dankula.
Yeah.
After nearly 3 years of delays, the law will finally come into effect tomorrow. Predictably, hate groups oppose it, even though it's already set in stone. Some claim that the police will enforce it too aggressively, while others argue that the law is unclear. In the policy world, it's an inside joke that legal certainty is always subjective. Opponents of a new law always label it as unclear, as it's the laziest argument. So if they're calling it unclear, it's probably effective. Some allies seek to assure people that free speech is protected, as if we can appease hate. Thank you, I will do no such thing. Instead, I am unapologetically setting out a list of threatening and abusive behaviors and rhetorics that are likely to be illegal under the new law.
So quick, do them today before it becomes illegal.
Well, this is from March, I think.
No.
So
We'll do them anyway.
Everybody here is probably already a felon in Scotland.
Yeah. That would be funny. I go to Scotland for some crazy reason and they just turn me away at the border. Like, no, we've seen your Twitter. Go away.
What is the law? The main element of the new stirring up offense, as the name suggests, is the intent to stir up hatred against people with the 6 protected characteristics. It covers both behavior and speech, the criminal threshold set at threatening or abusive. Just like any other law, we apply the law to the facts. Evidence will be presented regarding what was actually said. The court will primarily focus on those words to discern the motivation behind them.
I wonder if any of their evidence will actually feature real evidence.
God, don't be stupid.
Evidence is
Why would they do
colonialist.
that?
I mean, if somebody calls down the lightning, you can't have evidence about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Evidence will be... okay, yeah. The court will then assess whether those words or actions are threatening, abusive, or both. Much will turn on the circumstances and context in a particular case. Can you give examples? We know that certain words...
I think Buddha really should have gassed the Jews. I'm just going to say it. Justice the Buddha, he was wrong.
Now, oddly, that actually is allowed, Terry.
Yeah.
We know that certain
Gas
words...
the Palestinians as well, just to make it even-handed.
All right, now that's too far.
Yeah.
We know that certain words and rhetorics are more capable than others to be found as likely to result in hatred being stirred up against LGBTQI+ people, or blatantly indicative of an intent to stir up hatred.
Like faggot?
Well, they haven't mentioned the word faggot or nigger in this article, so maybe they're still allowed.
For example, the entire collection of grooming rhetoric will be illegal. It is specifically designed and calculated to evoke hatred against LGBTQI+ people. Hate groups do not use these terms legitimately. They imply or explicitly claim that LGBTQI+ people are preying on children by discussing issues related to sexual orientation and gender identity.
If they stopped preying on children, we'd stop saying that they were preying on children.
So I like the accusation is a crime, but not the grooming.
Yeah. No.
It's fun because every single example that you provide of grooming today, everyone's like, stop. They may be grooming, but at least they're not offensive.
Yeah.
Also, when I think of the word grooming, I think of hygiene. They should say
yeah. No, I actually made that point on Twitter that I don't like the term grooming gang because they're not giving these kids haircuts.
Yeah.
Preying on or targeting.
How about sexually assaulting or just assaulting in general?
Or just rape gangs. Just call them rape gangs.
That's rape gangs. I can deal with that. Rape gangs.
Yeah. I can deal with rape gangs, Jack Gunsky.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny.
No, I got that part. It is particularly likely to cross the criminal threshold for being threatening. Similarly, the use of the depraved term genital mutilation to equate gender-affirming surgery with a crime will be prohibited.
But it's the truth.
It is.
The truth is illegal.
And puberty blockers and all that shit.
I mean, you say that jokingly, but literally, yes, the truth is illegal in Scotland.
Yep.
Yeah. But we already determined that lies are good in Edna and Harvey.
We did.
Yes, and made justice commit seppuku.
Yes.
Okay. When such terms are uttered in front of trans people, it is likely to cross the criminal threshold for being abusive. A wide range of segregationist rhetoric will be illegal too. A call for sectioning or detention of LGBTQI+ people is likely to cross the criminal threshold for being threatening or abusive, depending on the actual tone. A call for the reduction of LGBTI+ people, oh, you forgot the Q, in a sane world.
Those damn queers. Got to leave them out of everything.
Yeah, just save time and say fags. All right.
That would be so much simpler.
Has anyone also noticed that there's this weird trend among the politicians in the UK specifically with the Muslim rape gang thing? That they'll say, we're fighting for women all the time. We're against raping women. But they refuse, for whatever reason, to call out the specific individuals who are guilty of it. Isn't it weird?
My favorite one of those was Jess Phillips said, when politicians say that they're for women's rights or whatever, they're lying. Like, she's a politician.
Yeah.
It came out that she voted against the bill that would stop the rape gang. So, I mean, she warned us.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing
Yeah.
to me that these people just don't seem to give a shit about actual legitimate rape.
Well, not
It's
if a
part of their
Muslim does it,
culture.
no.
It's part
And
of
they
their
call
culture.
They call them Asian instead of Muslim, as if they're like Chinese or Japanese. I mean, technically they are Asian, but they're Middle Eastern, you know, they're
No,
Arabs.
it's deliberate because Asian has very different connotations to Middle Eastern. So if someone says Asian, you don't think, guy in a turban and a terrorist beard. You think, Chinese,
Chopsticks.
Japanese. Yeah.
I mean, the Japanese like them young too, but that involves like schoolgirls and tentacles and shit.
Yeah.
Kawaii. Boo woo.
Ugh. All right. Okay. These are only the most obvious examples on the part of hate speech. Let us now turn to threatening and abusive manners. The elephant in the room. One less mentioned effect of the new law is that harassment of LGBTQI+ people in toilets will be very illegal.
Oh dear.
Previously, under Section 38 of the Criminal Justice and Licensing Scotland Act 2010, the offence threatening and abusive behaviour required proof that a reasonable person would experience fear or alarm. With the new alternative offence, the same conduct will be illegal, but with focus shifted to hatred.
Actually, we might have a loophole here because none of those trans faggots are reasonable.
For example, at a community sports event, if a bigot knocks on the door of a cubicle and begins misgendering a trans person, the victim may not feel directly threatened because the toilet is crowded. However, this would be a stirring up offense. Furthermore, the sentencing for such an offense will be aggravated. So yes, misgendering can serve as evidence of a hate crime. This is why I'm less inclined to appease bigots and label misgendering abuses as always protected under free speech. So don't you dare
Hey, why
knock on a
would
bathroom
speech-
door.
Why would speech be covered under free speech? What a crazy idea.
Yeah. Hate groups attempted to introduce US-style bathroom laws through back doors. These laws prevalent in the conservative-leaning states of the US not only aim to marginalize LGBTQI+ people through legal channels, but also empower bigots to harass them. These laws frequently lead to instances where even cisgender persons become victims of harassment. Fortunately, the closest they have gotten so far is a non-binding draft guidance from the Department for Education, and it applies only to England. But wait, we passed a law for England? Okay, I didn't know we could do that.
Ask Spud. Spud's in Chetty's English.
Oh, I was thinking of Evolved Potato. I was like, I thought he was Australian. Yeah,
He
same
is.
thing.
What is Australian?
All right. Hate groups should be feel doomed about the new about. I don't know. Is grammatically incorrect speech, is that hateful?
No, but correcting it is.
Hate groups should be feel doomed about the new law because it protects trans people from hate in toilets.
Toilet hate.
Yeah.
It's surprising they overlooked this crucial point. Isn't it far more important to their segregationist cause? While their fixation on defending hate speech seems to indicate otherwise.
Hi, Hammer.
Hammer. I'm glad under the new law I can pee without fear tomorrow.
Good.
Private.
The author is a former lawyer and specializes in intellectual property, international trade, and public law. She is an entrepreneur helping to make the world more sustainable.
So from the sounds of things, she might need to be in scare quotes.
Yeah, Adam's apple check.
Yeah.
Alright,
Hi, Paul.
so now with the end of the second article comes the second game, which is for the chat only, not Jack. And that is the Caption Contest. Or I'll show a photo of a political figure event, and the chat has to come up with a caption for it, and whichever one we like best, I'll tweet out after the show. So this week we've got the well-earned Presidential Medal of Freedom or something like that being given to Hillary Clinton. Probably for taking somebody out.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, why does she deserve something like that? That's a very prestigious award, yet they
Not
also
anymore,
give it to
no?
fucking George Soros.
They must have given a reason. I mean, there must be like some sort of statement somewhere. The president awards this to Hillary Clinton for her valor in murdering people.
Yeah, she is a murderer, yet they gave her the fucking Presidential Medal of Freedom.
And,
I don't know.
and she deserves recognition for not winning an election and going crazy.
Like Moon, you got to remember, Obama won a peace prize while
For
in
being
2
black.
wars.
He won
Yeah.
a peace prize for being black. Don't
I mean,
give me any other bullshit.
Didn't he win it like a month into his presidency?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
won it because he's black, period. That's all.
he didn't actually do anything.
No. No.
Let's see. With this medal, you seal our pact. 20 more years of life, Biden. I'm just doing what I'm told. Let's see. Do I get my ice cream?
Hope Sports this medal didn't hang itself.
Oh. Do I get my ice cream now, Mommy? With this medal, Bono is still number 2. Good job taking care of your hair, Joe Biden. Let's see. This is for destroying the Middle East. Let's see.
Grace is here.
I thought 3rd place was bronze. Now I won't be sad.
Hi, Shadow.
First prize, prettiest pig at Arkansas State Fair.
Nice.
That's some pig. See, that's highbrow literary references. Yeah.
Humble.
All right. Let's see. Award for 50th assassination. Just tighten it and get it over with. Let's see. Now you know what it's like being my intern.
Can we now make me president again, says Tier?
Biden gibberish noise. Now I give you this medal, you know the thing. Sniff, smells old. Kill streak.
I misfit.
This medal is for taking out Corn Pop. He was a bad dude.
Yeah.
Wanna see me strangle a bitch? And let's see. Safe word is Epstein killed himself. I think I'll end it there because we got a bunch.
I got to give it to 6. Prettiest pig in the Arkansas State Fair.
I agree.
Sure.
Yeah, with second, I think would go to this medal didn't hang itself.
Yeah, I was gonna vote for that one until I saw 6s, and it's like, okay, no, new winner.
See, that's
right.
the thing about the next 6 minutes is that 90% of the time what he says is total gibberish. But every once in a while he says something that's really good.
Yes,
6 is nothing if not unpredictable.
exactly.
All right. Let's see. And now for our next article. Have any of you guys played the Portal games?
Nope.
No.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, but-
anyone who's ever played a video game has played the Portal games.
No.
Which games?
Really? Moonshock, you've really never played them?
The Portal games, Terry.
Sorry, can someone just say the name of the game?
I have no idea what the hell that game even is.
It's just called Portal and Portal 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's just I couldn't hear over all the crosstalk. Yes, I'd played Portal.
Yeah. Well, good news because apparently there's a Portal 3.
Oh God.
and
No.
it is the vagina.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
The vagina
Harry
is the
love.
the vagina is the most powerful portal on Earth.
Oh God, that is one ugly bitch.
Have we become so conditioned that we are failing to comprehend the power of the woman? She's quoting herself.
Yes, as we do.
Just write it. It's your article. We know you said it.
Okay.
Okay,
So, to be fair, Aristocratic Utensil does quote himself in
there you go.
Yep.
his
And
outro card.
Image in chat.
Mitch Nemo also quotes himself.
Yeah, he does.
And
Yeah,
the
this-
penis is the most powerful stick on Earth.
Mm.
Okay, this looks like it was taken by the security cam at an ATM.
Looks like Stacey Abrams. Their teeth.
Much thinner. All right, let's see. If you Google, is the vagina a portal, which I'm sure all of us do all the time, the
Naturally.
results will say something like, there is no scientific proof that the vagina is a portal. Of course that's a result, because this is valuable information. But I'm going to tell you anyway. That's right, Google is covering up big vagina.
I guess so.
The vagina is the most powerful portal on the planet. Without the vagina, humans would not exist. At the start of this experiment, the first woman entered through a portal. Notice I said woman because men did not exist at the beginning. Men were later formed from the woman, for the woman, because she required a seed to grow life within her womb, so that she could welcome new life through her vaginal portal.
A seed which came from a man.
Yeah. No, but I thought it was the other way around. That's why men have allegedly have one less rib than women. Is man was made first, and then they took the rib and said, "Turn this rib into a woman."
Well, she's going to address that, Terry.
Oh, okay.
I know you've been told that the man was first, and from his rib the woman was formed. It's a lie. The female has XX. Oh, this is very hateful talk. And the male has XY because he is an extension of the woman. The truth is often uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Things are shifting quickly, so these lies must be exposed. There has been an attack on women's reproductive rights because the global birth rate is declining. This is an issue for the Matrix programmers because they feed on human energy for power. Okay, this took a turn.
Wait, what?
This is an issue for the Matrix programmers because they feed on human energy for power.
Is this person being tongue-in-cheek? I pray they are.
I don't think they are.
I hope they're
fuck.
not. It's much more entertaining when they're not. Humans are awakening in mass numbers, so their systems are weakening. They depend on human births because when we are born, we automatically enter the matrix systems through our parents. Therefore, the programmers rely heavily on new births.
We all live in a computer simulation.
This author can turn it around if they convince me that the Matrix is a metaphor for social security.
And also that the Matrix 4 doesn't count.
Nah. I've only seen the first Matrix movie.
Don't see any of the others. It's not worth it.
Seeing the first one wasn't worth it.
The programmers are desperately attempting to scare us back into submission. However, the result will not be in their favor. These attacks will only lead to sharper declines in the global birth rate as women are collectively choosing not to reproduce. Our portals are on strike. Believe it or not, this was always the plan. We must focus our attention on the souls who are currently here and have yet to end their reincarnation cycle. We want to help these souls shift from 3D to 5D consciousness, so that they can reside on the new Earth.
3D, 5D, and 4B.
Yeah. it is more manageable if the birth rate is in decline. Does that make sense?
Not even a little bit. And I think I upset Spudgun by not liking the Matrix.
Let's see. Did you know that Gina means queen? It's just a little fun fact. It's also wrong.
queen?
I googled it, and vagina comes from the Latin word for sheath, as in what you put your
That makes
sword
more
into.
sense.
Which makes sense because I think gladius, the word for sword, was also the word for penis.
Okay.
Yeah, so vagina means penis holder. All right.
That makes sense. I mean, that's what it is.
Ladies, I just told you that you are a walking portal. As you ascend and become the best version of yourself, you must align with your highest purpose and be selective about whom you allow to experience your portal. You, my love, are the source of life. You are extremely powerful, but you weren't supposed to know it. Think about it. A human being comes out of your vaginal portal after growing and living in your body for 9 months. Then after the human has entered, you somehow survive and then nurse and care for the child until adulthood. The amount of physical, mental, and emotional strength it takes to birth and care for a child is unfathomable. Yet
I give her credit for calling it a human being when it's in your body when you're pregnant with it instead of just like a clump of cells.
I feel like she would change her tune if abortion came up.
Yep, it's not the same.
Yet women do it every day. Have we become so conditioned that we are failing to comprehend the power of the woman?
Actually, you know what? Maybe not, because this person was willing to say XX is woman, XY is man. So she's willing to make that statement. Maybe she's not as ardent on the... maybe she's not fully aboard the leftist cuckoo train.
Yes, this is actually one of the saner leftists on Medium.
Sad but true.
The saner leftist that believes in the Matrix.
So her and the Bergen County Cat Congress are the two most reasonable authors on Medium.
No, the Bergen County Cat Congress is actually, yes, like unironically, and one of the only balanced viewpoints on Medium.
If you can ignore the fact that it comes from a group of pets, some of whom are dead, then it's really reasonable.
And a dog and a rabbit.
I would just like to point out that this website is not free.
For me it is, because I got banned.
Yeah.
Frosted found the real glitch in the Matrix.
It's one of those life hacks you hear about. Your portal welcomes new life, but also serves as a gateway for information and spiritual knowledge. Now I'm just picturing like the Stargate. As you evolve spiritually and become stronger, you will become more attractive. Many will seek to experience your portal. Why? Because if you allow them to enter, you grant them permission to drain you of your life force. Not only can they suck the life out of you, but they can also access spiritual knowledge and any downloads you're receiving.
See, I think it makes sense the other way around. The man is the one who's having his energy loss because, he's losing a certain amount of fluid. The woman is receiving it. So it makes sense that the woman is stealing the life force of the man.
So access your downloads? So what, like the guy fucks you and then he has access to your music library or something?
What I'm getting from what Terry says is that women are literally succubi.
Yes.
He downloads a baby into you. Or fetus.
I mean, if you think about it, the womb is like a zip file.
This reminds me of a Futurama episode called "The Bots and the Bees." Talking about reproduction with the robots.
I'm not your mama or your daddy, so I'm not here to control you or tell you what to do. But I feel guided to share my experiences. If you are engaging in a sexual, spiritual ritual with someone who isn't spiritually aligned, or a vibrational match, you permit them to access the most intimate parts of your soul. If you have awakened, protect your portal. If you are ascending, protect your portal. If you are experiencing an ego death, protect your portal. Thank you for reading.
If you are loading or unloading, you can only stop in the white zone.
Well, by the time I'm done with it, it'll be a white zone. Okay.
Damn.
So there you go. Protect your portals, ladies, or else people will be able to hack your accounts.
Noted.
And GLaDOS might release neurotoxin.
So now, man, we're moving through these fast. All right. So now, with the end of the third article comes the final game, and that is Porno Gender Edition, where I'll give you 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTI wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up, and you have to figure out which one is made up. And I'll even give you a short description of each one. Let's see. Okay. So, gender A. Old broken plates gender.
Okay.
Xenogender connected to shattered old plates.
Like dinner plates?
Maybe
I'm
it's tectonic plates.
Gender B. Comfy genius. Xenogender related to comfort and being a genius.
I guess that makes the movie theater near me a genius because they have comfy chairs.
Oh, there you go.
All right, and gender C. End green ox. Xenogender related to anagrams.
What?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so what's end green ox an anagram of?
No,
Ego.
it's ego. It's ego. Oh, no, I'm thinking of an acronym.
Like it matters.
Okay, wait, hold on. So there's gender in there. GEND.
It's xenogender. It's an anagram for xenogender.
Right. It's a xenogender that's mixed up. Okay, that makes sense.
All right. So
Okay, well that one's far too clever. I'm gonna say it's C.
All right, I'm gonna start the poll for the chat so they can get in on it, and don't forget when
I'm
the
going
options
with
that they're
B.
all real.
B.
I'm gonna say frosted broken plate. And it's like, fuck you. Just for that, you're becoming a goddamn gender.
All right. Okay.
How could you not have seen xenogender as an anagram right there? I saw that right away.
Ah,
so-
I missed it.
Moon said B. Terry said A. Jack, you said C.
Yes.
All right. Keeve.
All real.
All right. Let's see. Chat is leaning.
I like
over.
Kyler's take. A, ink, B, mental illness, C, autism. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, but from now on, we'll just diagnose them.
The-
All right. Now C's in the lead, followed by Oriel. All right. Give it a few more seconds. There. I think I'll end it there. Okay, so chat went with C. All right. And the answer is
B.
C is fake.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
I just used an anagram generator.
And green ox. Yeah.
But let's look at the flags for the real ones.
If Comfy Genius doesn't have a chair or a recliner in it, or like a sofa, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Can I just say I hope that Frosted made his own flag for End Green Ox.
So here's Old Broken Plate's gender, which is very low res for some reason.
Oh, it's a tree. It's a tree on a plate. It's a tree on a plate.
It's a dead tree.
Can we get one instead with a picture of Walter White before he
DNA
chokes Crazy 8 to death?
I haven't seen Breaking Bad, so
I don't get the second one there. I realize that it's a DNA stream, but I don't get the
Moon. Can you name one genius that doesn't have DNA? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Got a point.
Then where does the comfy come in?
Well, I feel comfortable just looking at that flag.
Is that supposed to be a couch in the background or something?
Probably.
It's like a gaming console too.
They're both gay, but that second one is just dumb. At least in the first one, you have a broken plate. There's like, hey, look, it's a strand of DNA with stupid stripes and shit. It means nothing.
I mean, it's not bad looking. It's just not, relevant.
It's gay. Done. We'll just leave it at that.
All right. But, of course, that's not all.
Oh, God.
So you didn't make a Green Ox gender flag.
No, End Green Ox. So
Whatever.
they're calling for the genocide of green oxes.
A green ox's butt.
All right. Because we also have Too Retarded for TV, where I'll give you a gender that is too retarded not to share, but also too retarded that you wouldn't think I made it up.
And Red Ox. And Red Ox, and not green, but it's and Red Ox, right?
All right. And the gender is silly he-who gender.
What?
Okay.
Gender related to a silly clown saying he-who.
What?
Well, I mean, that would be silly.
And there's the flag, which looks like it was made by a 5th grader. Or, sorry, 5-year-old.
It's
silly.
Is that the bad guy from Scooby Doo?
One who hypnotized everybody? Kind of looks like it.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for this silly gender.
I have a feeling this was John Wayne Gacy's gender.
Yeah.
All right. But so we've covered racism and sexism so far, but we haven't
free yoga.
Yeah. But we haven't covered the disabled yet. And one of the major enemies of the disabled. That's right. Matlock.
What?
My dad watched that show.
Everyone's dad watched that show.
True.
Well, I just know about the show because my dad watched it.
I just remember really liking the theme music. Like when I was a kid, I didn't understand the show.
Mel.
Just like the music.
I think they're remaking Matlock, except it's a woman now or some shit.
Yeah.
What in the fuck is that?
Yeah, didn't they I think they remade it with Kathy Bates.
Oh, honey.
I don't know.
Kathy Bates.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to prepare yourself for this one.
I don't know. That would be an actual talented actress, Frosted.
Okay.
Usually when they do a remake, it's with someone who has no talent.
You've been warned.
Looks fake. Brush your teeth if you're real.
That's young Bill Gates. You can't fool me. In classically structured detective stories, a flaw in the murderer is what gives them away in the end. This is a borrowing from the structure of tragedies in which someone brings about their own downfall. Setting aside the possible victim blaming of that style of storytelling, what I want to talk about is how a couple episodes of Matlock use disabilities. Specifically, disabilities which are used as character flaws or tells that there is something deformed in the person's moral character. I don't have to tell you in 2024 what is wrong with this.
Good thing it's a show from the 80s or 70s, not 2024.
I was hoping to be. I don't have to tell you in 2024 what is wrong with this, and then that's the end of the article.
Yeah. It's like and now man who needs no introduction.
And then you just walk off.
Yeah. Okay. While the examination of The Reunion and Blind Justice undermines the nostalgia many, including me, have for the show, nostalgia should not be used to dismiss a work of art's flaws. Acknowledging the problems in our society is important if we are going to grow as people. In The Reunion, the killer was caught because he was red-green colorblind and switched scarves with the victim accidentally when leaving the scene of the crime. For a moment, I appreciated the classic solution, which is based on keen observation, the Sherlock Holmes standard. Then I realized what the episode, and what all stories like it do. Vilify people with disabilities.
Well, I will give him a retroactive pass on his ableism. As someone with color blindness myself, I feel authorized to issue such a pass.
I don't know. We don't know that you haven't murdered anybody.
No one
Although, then you'd have to, get the victim into your house because you're not going to go out and do it.
Is there a street sweeper outside or something?
I don't know what that sound was.
Oh.
No, I haven't killed anyone important, just blacks and gays.
Ah, okay. Okay. Benjamin Matlock is a white heterosexual man who is cisgender and able-bodied. He is not a young.
They capitalized white.
He is not a young man, but is largely portrayed as if he can do what he wants whenever he wants with no special concerns. It's almost like he's the main character of the show. Like he has literal main character syndrome. Right.
Yeah.
Watching him apprehend a murderer by ruthlessly exploiting their disability is uncomfortable. In The Reunion, the killer is exactly the same as Matlock, but with a key difference: colorblindness.
Exactly the same.
Colorblindness is the gateway to murder.
I guess so.
I'm just thinking of 30 Rock, where they had a joke TV show where there's a detective, but the twist is that he can't smell anything. and then the next clip of the guy is saying, "But you made one fatal. You thought that you would get away with it because I can't smell anything, but you made one fatal mistake. You let me see the documents."
So literal color blindness or racial color blindness or both?
Yes.
For the scarf.
He is elderly, white, heterosexual, cisgender, and even an attorney.
Literally the only qualities a person can have.
Yeah. Once you answer those questions, you know everything about a person. Literally the only difference between them is vision that is impaired in a specific way. That is what makes the episode feel so egregious. During the trial, right before it all comes out that the scarves were switched, Matlock presses on the man until he admits that he is colorblind. "A slight flaw, Your Honor," the killer says to the judge defensively. The judge is another apparently white, heterosexual, cisgender, and able-bodied man.
The same character 3 times.
Wow. Matlock retorts, "That slight flaw became a fatal flaw."
Dun dun dun.
I don't think that any sensitivity consultants were used in 1988 when the episode was shot and aired, do you?
I hope not.
It's almost like people weren't pussies back then. Imagine any actual person with color blindness in all seriousness calling it a flaw. In dead seriousness, the colorblind man and Matlock both refer to the color blindness as being equivalent to a character flaw.
Hey, Terry, would you prefer to not be colorblind?
Yes.
How dare you?
It's a physical
Yeah.
disability.
No, I'm very problematic.
You absolute motherfucker.
Yeah, no. I'm a terrible person.
Yeah.
It's a visual or physical disability, not a character flaw.
Yeah. Here's a hot take that should be lukewarm at best by now. Differences between us, including disabilities, are not character flaws. You're the one who said character flaw. Right.
Yeah.
This is something I hope the majority of us have accepted by now. But when we write, particularly when we write a trope-laden story that harkens back to Sherlock Holmes, these kinds of details can slip past us. As long as we view detective stories as harmless abstractions, disregarding that these stories always involve murder and wrongdoing, then we don't study what these stories are really saying, because they're not real to us. When
They're
that
not real full stop.
Yeah, it's almost like the colorblind thing in Matlock doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's almost like the whole story was fictional.
When that happens, real-life implications can slip past an unwary, privileged writer and an equally unwary, privileged audience. That was my experience. I was watching Matlock to relax. Then my brain lurched and came back to the grand solution of this episode. I'm not a better person than any other person. Only because I was thinking, I love Matlock, and I'd love to write an article about this show sometime, was I even halfway engaged in analyzing it. Another example from the same season, which is season 2, is the unabashedly vicious episode Blind Justice. It features...
Uh-oh.
It features
I'm
David...
noticing a theme. I'm guessing this author has visual problems.
It features David Ogden Stiers as an absolutely chilling villain who frames a battered wife for murder. This character is the lowest of the low. Well, yeah, but he's David Ogden Stiers. And wait for it, he's blind. I wasn't expecting that based on the episode title. In fact,
I thought he'd be justice.
In fact, he's every blind stereotype except for the dark glasses and cane. So if there's a blind person who does have the dark glasses and cane, are they like an Uncle Tom or something?
I guess.
He is a sculptor who feels people's faces and is murderously bitter about having been blinded by his former best friend, whom he kills. He shouldn't be angry about getting blinded. But,
I guess not.
He leaves a piece of paper on the top of the stairs in the victim's home, so that when the victim steps on it, it makes enough noise that the blind killer can aim perfectly and shoot the man dead. A feat of displaying the stereotyped heightened hearing of a blind person.
Like in Don't Breathe.
And Philip Forge says, what does this thing say about the Matlock episode where the killer was given away by catching poison ivy? Well, that's also very problematic.
Yeah. I don't think you have to be Daredevil to be able to, like, hear a paper crumple or something.
Well, I think they're pointing out the incredible precision of the gunshots. It's like, just by hearing someone step on a piece of paper, this guy was able to shoot them in the head or the heart or whatever.
But yeah, because he's like a really, smart guy who, planned it out.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain from this retard's point of view. I can see the problems that you're pointing out too.
Yeah. Let's see. On top of the usual cocktail of stereotypes, the episode descends into deranged blind bashing, as it shows this... the idea of just people pounding on a blind man is kind of funny. All right. As it shows this killer to be particularly cunning, calculating, and sadistic. In real life, this man would definitely have antisocial personality disorder, but in the episode, the message is that he is bitter due to being blinded. making disability the reason for his actions.
I mean, I would be better if I was blinded too. I wouldn't
Also,
kill people, but I'd be better.
Also, maybe he's mad about being blinded and he has some kind of, like, mental problem.
Yeah.
Okay. He cold-bloodedly...
Blind Press doesn't seem like that, so good for her.
Well, we'll have to ask her how many people she's killed.
That we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, she is very good at Mortal Kombat.
So I've heard.
He cold-bloodedly manipulates a battered wife trying to escape her husband into returning yet again to try to talk to the man who regularly beats her to a pulp, just so that he can frame her for the murder. The phone in the home is rigged with his weirdly specific technological expertise to call his phone no matter what she dials. As soon as he has her back on the phone, he instructs her to run from the scene, having already called the police himself to ensure she is caught running. Just like a blind guy.
Yeah.
And yet the episode does nothing to clarify the point that would surely be true if this character were a real man. He was always this way, and being blinded has nothing to do with it. His chilling mannerisms and off-putting sadism, in which he enjoys women being in fear for their lives, are a result of his inherent antisocial personality disorder, not his relatively recent disability.
Whoa. Isn't it ableist to hate people with antisocial personality disorders? They've got disabilities too.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I've seen this episode, but I kind of doubt that at the end they're like, wow, his blindness turned him into a killer.
Yeah. Makes you really rethink that song, Blinded by the Light.
Okay. Not that calling a psychological disorder that severely impairs one's ability to access empathy or understand why to live a life in relation to other people instead of only for oneself should ever be used as a character flaw either. The deranged blind killer is, you guessed it, brought down in the end by his own blindness. You know his fatal character flaw. His sadism is overlooked in favor of making his blindness crucial to how he is caught. The piece of paper he left on the stairs, he was blind and couldn't see that it wasn't blank, but instead had his own name and the address on it, because it was an official piece of mail that came out to his studio. It's obvious that this is not an acceptable use of a disability. A skin color, a religion, a gender identity, a sexual orientation, and so on. Basically, anything protected in the United States by Title IX and the American Disabilities Act should not be used as a flaw. This idea that someone's core self is flawed is also steering into dangerous territory. In mystery stories, the flawed core hypothesis is certainly used as an attack on the killer. Now, it's true that some stories are leaning away from these traditional shame-based tropes about difference being bad and core identities being shameful. These more progressive stories substitute the old messaging for cat-and-mouse games or superior evidence collection, attempting a more modern narrative about cleverness, advanced technology, and hard work. That really sounds fun. All right.
Yes.
The catch of the killer is portrayed as at least somewhat circumstantial or lucky, and no particular flaw is blamed. Okay, that sounds really boring.
He's not a good detective. He just luckily managed to catch those.
So he's just frickin' Mr. Magoo's his way into solving it?
I guess so.
It all has an honorable nemesis feel to it. Instead of insulting the killer or implying they're inherently twisted, it's like a chess match between grandmasters. It lacks a certain nostalgia, but also lacks some of the old offensiveness. Matlock did not have to choose this route of storytelling. Another classic detective show, Columbo, usually steers clear of this very issue. The killers are not often depicted as inherently flawed, and they are not often marked by some difference from the rest of society. I feel like I can assume that not every Matlock episode has a disabled killer.
I would imagine there's very few.
Although it would be kind of funny if they had like a special, like a special victims unit, but just for disabled killers.
Yeah.
The killers are not often depicted as inherently flawed, and they're not often marked by some difference from the rest of society. For this reason, the worst episode of Columbo is The Most Dangerous Match, which is about a deaf chess-playing killer who uses his visible deafness as a way to garner false sympathy from other people and manipulate them. Ouch.
Something that no one has ever done in history. No one has ever used their disability to milk sympathy out of people.
Yeah. I'm sure that everyone in the 80s just mistrusted all disabled people.
I should hope so.
When Columbo is done well, such as in the episode Double Exposure, it is a cat and mouse game at its finest, in which it is very much a portrait of an individual's circumstances and their psychology, and has nothing to do with the ways they are different from the rest of society. Columbo busts the corrupt advertising researcher Dr. Bart Keppel by besting him at his own game, manipulating people's perceptions. This goes to show we can't blame the writing for Matlock on that was just how people thought back then. Columbo is a show from back then too. Now, to give Matlock its due, where Matlock was progressive was their depiction of race and racial justice. For instance, Matlock has to interrogate childhood friends and send one of them to prison for framing a black man in The Buddies. Matlock doesn't even hesitate. He concludes that he never knew his supposed friends and goes back home with his black best friend, Conrad McMasters, a private investigator.
He forgot to capitalize black the first time he typed it.
Ooh.
Or she, whatever.
So the moral of the story is follow the law. I don't see how that's really a racial justice narrative.
That's a radical notion, Jack.
So he should have caught the racist criminals, but not the disabled ones.
Yes.
No, see,
I think being black might count as a disability.
now if the races were reversed and the people who were blaming the white guy were black, blaming his white friend were black, would it then be racial justice for him to arrest the black people?
Well, then it would be bad because you're depicting black people as bad,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
which is unacceptable.
Yes.
It's too bad that Matlock's overall approach was so inconsistent on social issues.
That says Moloch.
Oh yeah, it does. Matlock.
Yeah.
All right. He's a lawyer that you also make sacrifices to.
I guess so.
The issue of representation that is fair and just for people who don't match our white, male, cisgender, heterosexual, able-bodied society is one we still struggle with today, and it's not something to be taken lightly. Nor is it always going to be abstract. My father has cerebral palsy that affects his mobility and ability to speak. Oh, he's killed lots of people.
He's definitely a killer.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen The Usual Suspects? Yeah. Other people growing up would respond to him poorly. That's my dad. People saying ignorant and hurtful things isn't abstract to me. Not to mention the hegemonic forces that tried to deny him the right to even show up in public, much less have a job. He was born.
Fucking dare you? Sorry.
He couldn't have a job because of Matlock. He was born in
Damn you, Andy Griffith.
I bet Don Knotts wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
He was born in 1950. The American Disabilities Act wasn't until 1990. He lived 40 years without rights.
Get
I'm pretty sure he had some rights.
Yeah.
Nope, none. Not a single one.
Never. You get none.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Now at the end of every other, amendment or bill that gave people rights, it said except gimps. You know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, except this girl's dad. Like, just like by name, except Fred.
Yeah,
Fred
just
doesn't get right.
no cripples.
No, that's every amendment at the end. No cripples.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of no fat chicks. You know.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Stories we tell always lead back to reality. That's because they come from real people. And stories we tell have potential to change the world, like the optimistic leanings of Star Trek, or the potential to hold people back in barbaric mindsets, like the worst episodes of Matlock.
Matlock ruined society.
Man, we would have flying cars by now if it weren't for Matlock. Racism would be solved. Every time you hear that theme, that is the slide whistle of hate.
Wow. I think we learned something from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Hmm?
I said, is that what it's called? Learning something today?
I gotta find out if she wrote about any other shows.
I hope she did.
All right. And actually, I'm surprised she didn't mention there was one where the killer was like a guy in a wheelchair, and he constructed some like pulley thing so he could pull himself up to the window of the second floor, which would give him a great alibi. Yeah. I don't know. My friend likes Matlock, so I've seen some of it.
I don't think I've ever watched it as an adult. I just remember as a kid I liked the theme song.
I won't watch Matlock until I at least watch Columbo.
Yeah. I did watch Columbo because when my dad was alive, he used to watch it on TV a lot. But I didn't watch Matlock.
Well, that's all I have for tonight, gentlemen, and Keith. So let's see. Take a moment to shill my co-host and guest. Not Jack Gunsky has his Games with Terry on his channel Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
No, you're thinking of Jack Gunsky. I'm not Jack Gunsky.
That's true.
Okay.
He's not.
So not Jack Gunsky has Not Games with Not Terry, not on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
All right. And let's see, Moonshock has his Twitch channel linked in the description. Have you been playing recently?
Yeah, we restarted our 7 days playthrough on Wednesday nights, and
Wrong answer.
and Monday nights I'm going to go back to playing Icarus.
No, still
I don't
wrong.
know if I'll be doing Path of Exile 2 on weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, we need Night of the
Super
Rabbit.
Seducer is the game that you should be playing. We've been over this many times, man.
I'll bleed one viewer if I don't play it. Oh my god.
Right, let's see. Let's see. Terry is on Hammers, and are there any other Minions nights you do?
No, if Johnny is doing like a Jackbox night, then I'll be on those. But the only one that I'm like regularly on all the time is Hammers.
Right. And he's also on Games with Terry, and he's on Mr. Adams streams, I think.
Yep.
And Six's Sober streams. I don't know if he's
He
still
hasn't
doing
done those
those.
in ages, but yeah, if he starts those up again, I'll be on them.
All right. And anything you want to shill, Keeve?
Well, I might start streaming again with my new equipment.
Nice.
I've been testing my webcam and my headset, so I don't know. I'll still mess around with it some more.
What are you gonna stream about?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Maybe if there's any news story that interests me enough, then I'll stream about it, or if something
She'll be singing the Matlock thing.
in my life.
Yeah, just
Huh? What?
cripples and old TV shows.
Yes.
Sure.
No, I just said you'll be singing the Matlock theme song on your streams.
Well, just request me to sing anything and I'll sing it. If I have to learn it first, then I'll learn it first.
But well, I mean, it doesn't have any lyrics. You'd just be going like
No.
ba 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 da ba.
How about the Andy Griffith theme song? You can whistle it.
Yeah, I don't think that's got any lyrics either, does it?
No.
Okay. So let's see. We should be back next week at the usual time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. But you know, I say that every week, and it's usually not the normal time.
And hit like on the way out.
Yes.
It's
Otherwise,
infusion
we-
week for me, so I can't guarantee that I'll be there. It really depends on how I do.
Faggot.
Goddamn right, but only on TV.
All right. Let's see. So, all right. So yeah, we should be back next week at the usual time. So we'll see you guys then.
Night, everybody.
See you later.
See ya.
Boy.